might as well do my makeup first before I get this vlog started. There. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Noelle and welcome to another vlog live from the inside of my bedroom. So it has been 10 weeks since we started this community quarantine, and it has been the first week since we entered a modified enhanced community quarantine, which allowed many of us to go back to work and exercise outdoors, etc. Of course, while maintaining social distancing measures and wearing protective equipment such as face masks and whatnot. It does feel like the lifestyle has changed just a little bit, and that's not because we've actually defeated the virus, but it's actually because the economy was in the toilet. So, of course, we had to get things moving by getting people to go back to work, etc., etc. I'm not going to go into that. People who were trapped, quote unquote, but had to stay indoors since March 15, we're really starting to experience the negative effects of isolation. Whether they were living with family or in quarantine alone, definitely there's something that affects all of us when we're trapped inside confined spaces for too long. And, you know, a lot of people are relatively sedentary individuals in this day and age, especially with the advent of office work rather than, you know, farming or hunting or any of those other subsistence things. But there's a difference between choosing to stay indoors to do your work and having to stay indoors because it's the law, you're mandated to do it. It's all about choice, and when choice is taken away from you, it can do strange things to people. As you may have seen in my previous videos, it drove me to sign up for Zwift. It drove me to try to find setups for Zwift cycling and then eventually for Zwift running, even if I didn't have a treadmill. I still don't, by the way. But I was seriously considering buying one just because for me, I do need to run. It's something that is a definite physical and psychological need. I guess that's the way things have turned out. Mental health matters, and being cooped up doesn't really do people a lot of good, aside from the fact that it definitely has reduced virus transmission. But aside from that, there's a lot to be said about the negative effects of being stuck at home. Recently, Runner invited me to be part of an Instagram social media campaign around this mental health matters. So I, along with a few other runners and you know, recreational athletes, were asked to share our thoughts about mental health, about how we've managed to deal with not being able to run throughout this quarantine. When we started that campaign, things were really kind of status quo, but a lot changed within that week. The difference between the first picture which I submitted, which was just a word that would be part of a collage, and then when I submitted my second contribution to the campaign, which was some pictures of myself and what I was doing to deal with to maintain physical fitness amid lack of running during the quarantine period. And that the difference was we lost my grandmother. Uh, she lived to a full 91 years of age, and up until she lost consciousness, she was strong as a horse. She was not sick at all. So we do think that it was a stroke that was the maker calling her home. Previously, I was just exercising or cycling indoors. I was doing high intensity intervals, but when she passed, I found myself really looking for that release that only running could give me. And it was hard because we were really banned from running outdoors. So in my desperation, I laced up my shoes. I used my Garmin to sync to one of my Zwift gadgets. I think I used an iPad then. And I just started jogging in place and watching my little Zwift avatar running through this virtual world. It wasn't the same as actually running outdoors, but kind of brought me that same sensation of not being trapped here with the feelings. And when I was done with my 5 kilometers, well, at least that's what Zwift said. I traveled 5 kilometers virtually. I'm not really sure if that was the real case because I was just jogging in place, but I accepted it that way. But when I had finished running, I got the same kind of benefit that I do whenever I run. When I'm thinking over a problem, I got that release. I got that that space and start to process things. And I kept doing that for the next week, and then that's what brought about the little message that I wrote on my contribution to the Runner Mental Health Matters campaign, in which you gotta do what you gotta do to find that mental release. And it's okay not to be okay. I'm still kind of processing, and it's, it'll take a while because I really was close to my grandma, and I miss her. And the running was just a way of being able to let all this out without actually breaking down. Excuse me. Okay, we're back. That was then, and I thought I would be jogging indoors for a bit longer. And then when they announced the modified enhanced community quarantine and the activities that we could do around it, which included running and cycling and other outdoor activities where you could maintain some physical distance. And of course, you had to do all of these activities wearing masks. That kind of was a big relief for me because, I didn't have to think of myself as a weirdo jogging in place, doing flash dance thing while trying to rack up kilometers on Zwift. I could actually, run outdoors and feel the air on my skin and that sensation of actually moving through space and being able to run and leave thoughts of, basically that. That really helped a lot, and I'm so thankful that they finally decided to let us out. And I know a lot of Filipinos suddenly felt that need also to get out and stretch their legs, and I saw that on the first day I ran out. It's like, oh, I never saw these people run here before, but they were out. And that's how you know that it's really beneficial to take that exercise, get that outside time. It's helpful and it's healthful not just for the body, but also for the mind. So I'm really glad that that's worked out. It's one less thing to think about as we go through this quarantine. I mean, that feeling of going crazy because the walls are closing in. At least, you get that hour a day that you're outside and not within the confines of these four walls. You have some sort of freedom, and that sets you up for a great rest of the day. That was a benefit that I experienced long before this pandemic season, but it's all the more important now. So yeah, this is me encouraging you that if you can, get out there, follow the rules in your locality, but yeah, try to get out there and get some exercise in, because it can be really good for you. Now, I'm really thankful that in this city I'm living in, they allow you to exercise. I guess they kind of expect you to stay within your own barangay, within your own little space, jurisdiction. The barangay is kind of small. It's like maybe 2 kilometers long and a kilometer wide. It's that big. So I don't really see myself cycling outdoors. So that's why I still have the trainer set up, the Zwift subscription on. But running, yeah, definitely going to take advantage of it. And, I'm thankful that all the members of a household can actually go out and exercise. One at a time, of course, but yeah. Unlike in other localities where exercise outdoors is only permitted within a 2-hour time frame in the morning and a 2-hour time frame in the afternoon towards the evening, which actually causes a lot of the exercisers to bunch up, and it's not good for social distancing measures. What can you do? And the other ridiculous thing that was in those rules is that only the person who holds the quarantine pass will be allowed to exercise. So only the person who has been going out to do groceries and other essential errands is the person who is allowed to exercise. So what happens to the other members of the household who also need to exercise? Are they then going to become sedentary creatures that will never see the light of day or breathe fresh air? That actually contributes a lot to health problems and comorbidities for COVID. So I don't think that was well thought out, that particular rule, and I'm so happy that I don't live in a city where that is the case. I can exercise however long I want, although my fitness for outdoor running has kind of waned ever since I stopped running. So yeah, 30 to 45 minutes is kind of my limit at this point. Yeah, I just wanted to update you on how things have been going, and I'm definitely in a better place now because not just because I've come to terms with my grandma's passing, but also because I now have access to these coping mechanisms that have really been beneficial to me in the past and will continue to be beneficial to me in the future. A blog entry that I wrote at the start of the week regarding how to wear a mask while running was really appreciated by a lot of you who follow me. And I got not a few questions about the kind of mask that I was wearing. What do we call this? This is a Headwear body buff. It's kind of like those things that they hand out to Survivor contestants, which the Survivor contestants then wear on their heads or wear as tubes on their bodies or around their wrists, etc., etc. It's just a buff. It's not technically a medical mask, but it can be used to cover your nose and mouth. And since it's kind of hard to exercise wearing a medical mask, not to mention it's really not advisable to exercise wearing an N95 mask, a lot of people are turning to cloth masks that are maybe 1-ply or 2-ply just to cover the nose and mouth. And as I mentioned in the article, it's not really about using the masks to prevent yourself from being infected. It's about using a face cover to prevent you from transmitting whatever virus you might be carrying in your body. But the most effective way to reduce the risk of transmission anywhere, especially when running outdoors, is really just the physical distancing. So keeping far away from other people who might be in the vicinity. I wanted to show you how to wear that little headwear that I'm using. So I actually managed to throw out 3 other headwear pieces, but I'm happy that I was able to keep 3 for myself, so I can probably run 3 times a week. And this particular one is from Spartan. So I got it from an event, and I'm happy that it didn't survive. I mean, I'm happy that it survived my Marie Kondo purge, because now I have a puff that I can use to run in. And this is how I wear it. First, I pull it down over my face. I pull the back towards the front and reveal my face. Okay, so hair is a little bit messy. There. But it's nice and taut, but it's still one ply, so it's easy to breathe through. And all I do is take the bottom part with a lot of material still bunched up here towards the neck, because I don't need a lot of material in the front. All I need is enough material to pull over my nose. And then from here, I can use this extra material. I'm going to tuck it in near my cheeks. So there, my nose is covered, my mouth is covered, but it's easy to breathe, and this doesn't really fall down too much. And then when you need to take a drink, all you need to do is pull this open, drink, pull the nose back up, tuck it back into your cheeks, and there you go. You can keep running. All I have to say is, even when you get out there, please stay safe, stay healthy. If you're feeling sick, stay at home. If you have other respiratory or cardiovascular, if you have respiratory and other cardiovascular issues, might be a better fit for you to exercise at home. But now there's an option for you to exercise outside also. So just please take care. Use this exercise to get healthy, both in the body and in the mind. And I will see you again next time. Thanks, guys.